I guess there was some kind of big gaming news this morning. Boy, oh boy, this is something that we are going to see the ramifications of for a very, very long time, and that is, of course, Microsoft officially acquiring Activision Blizzard. I believe the number that is going around is $70 billion, which is just absolutely insane. Remember, they paid about $7.5 billion for Bethesda, but now Microsoft has officially acquired Activision, and there's a lot to talk about, and I'm probably not the smartest guy as far as dissecting every which way this acquisition can go, but there's a lot to talk about in regards to PlayStation. I know some of you guys are hoping that for whatever reason these games are still going to come to PlayStation. Activision's portfolio of titles, that being, you know, your Call of Duties, your Spyros, your Crash Bandicoots, and the games that are out right now are obviously going to remain on the PlayStation, but I really question what Microsoft's thinking would be if they decided to pay $70 billion to acquire Activision and ultimately put their games on PlayStation platforms as well. Just doesn't make a lot of sense to me, and obviously, a lot of people are upset about this. From what I saw on social media, some people threatening to cancel their Game Pass, which, let's be real, that's just a vocal minority. Who even knows if they're gonna cancel their Game Pass? I don't think that Microsoft acquiring Activision is going to make anybody cancel Game Pass. I think, if anything, people are going to subscribe to Game Pass, especially to get day one Call of Duty, if that's going to be the case, and all of the other Activision portfolio of titles. But now what you're seeing is, you know, the Bethesda acquisition for Microsoft was absolutely huge. A lot of PlayStation fans were upset about that, and maybe rightfully so, you know, losing out on the Elder Scrolls, losing out on Starfield, and that was a $7.5 billion acquisition, and a lot of people thought, hey, the Activision acquisition is actually never going to happen. That is way too big of an acquisition, and there were rumors. People were, you know, thinking about it, talking about it, but ultimately I would think the majority of people were like, nah, that's not going to happen. That's way too big of an undertaking, but here we are. It has officially happened, and now what you're going to see is PlayStation is going to lose out on another portfolio of titles, and because Microsoft just has all this money, you know, you can make your argument, are they creating a monopoly? Is there monopolization going on? Whatever the case may be, I don't think we're going to get an intervention or anything like that to stop Microsoft from what they're doing. I mean, come on, guys, let's be realistic here. There's been a lot of other things going on as far as monopolization outside of what Microsoft does, but if they're willing to spend this kind of money on Bethesda and even more so on Activision, now you really get to get the picture that they have a lot of emphasis in their gaming division, and they are willing to spend big money. Now, how much more money can they spend? I don't know, but if you're talking acquiring Bethesda, then acquiring Activision, and then you look at all of the other smaller studios they've been acquiring, Double Fine, Ninja Theory, Obsidian, probably forgetting a lot of them, you are starting to get to the point where Xbox and PC are going to have a lot of games that PlayStation is just going to miss out on. And now we're talking about two sets of IPs that we are missing out on PlayStation. You're talking Call of Duty, you're talking Crash Bandicoot, a potential Spyro, Tony Hawk is another one. All of these games are belonging to Activision, and then you look at the Blizzard side of things, Diablo, Overwatch, etc, 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 and that's just Activision. Then you open up it to Bethesda, excuse me, you're losing out on even more games, and you could make the argument, hey, I don't care about Call of Duty, hey, Bethesda's washed, but let's be real, those games are going to be very important, and it's a big blow to Sony just to lose out on them. And I saw a comment somewhere, it might have been on Twitter, or it might have been on Reddit, but somebody was just like, at this point, it probably would be cheaper for Microsoft to just outright buy Sony to stop games from coming out on Sony platforms, and obviously, that's a little bit sarcastic, and a little bit of an exaggeration, but that's the point we're getting to, where Microsoft is just throwing in so much money, and how is Sony going to compete with that? Yes, they can cultivate their great first-party exclusives, but you're losing out on major third-party titles, former third-party titles at least, that are going to be available on other platforms. They're going to be available on PC, they're going to be available on Xbox Series X and S, but they're ultimately not going to be available at PlayStation 4 or 5, or at least that's what I think. I believe that is going to be the case. I don't understand why they would pay $70 billion. You could make the argument, hey, they could make more money by selling the games on PlayStation 4 and 5, but ultimately, Microsoft wants to bring you into their ecosystem. This Game Pass ecosystem, that is what they are carving out. Yeah, they're going to be selling some of their games on Steam, but that's still PC, that's separate from the console market, and it makes sense to put games on Steam, but ultimately a lot of PC people are just going to sign up for Game Pass as well, and that is going to be their bread and butter. They want to get people on this Game Pass platform, and even with, you know, the rumblings about Sony potentially starting their own subscription service, now it is absolutely essential that if you want this subscription service to be on the level of Game Pass, you gotta put your first-party titles on there day one. I'm sorry, if this is just a meme, you know, slightly enhanced PlayStation Now, just no mas. If you're really trying to create a subscription service that's going to compete with Xbox Game Pass and offer something at a comparable level, now you don't have to go down that route. Maybe that's a business model that Sony doesn't completely agree with, and they think, hey, selling our games for $70 is what makes sense. But if you're gonna create a top-tier subscription service, why half-ass it? Why go, you know, into the middle ground? Microsoft is gonna do what they're gonna do. It would be great if Sony does something that is comparable, because at this point, you know, given the value proposition that Game Pass is going to have in 2022, it just seems like Sony, if they want to make Spartacus a real thing, if they want to do a subscription service at that level, they need to offer something at a very high level as well. And maybe now you just look at the lay of the land and be like, okay, maybe that's not the route we go. Maybe we stick with, you know, trying to sell our games for a premium and try to get the most money out of a smaller, potentially smaller user base. Right now, PlayStation 5 is absolutely in the lead, but when you're talking about these big IPs going to be Microsoft exclusive, so to speak, because they're also going to be on PC, it really begs the question, are the tables going to turn in 2022 and 2023, especially when the consoles are readily available again? I just find it hard to believe that a lot of people are going to forego buying an Xbox that are console-only people. You can be of the mindset, hey, these games aren't exclusive, but there's a portion of people that only play on consoles. That's absolutely the case, and that's why I think it's a good idea for Sony to put their exclusives on PC day one, but that's a different topic for a different day. But when you look at Bethesda titles, think of them what you are. Maybe you think Bethesda's washed. There's still major titles. Once Elder Scrolls 6 comes out, Starfield's a pretty major game. And then when you're talking about Call of Duty, think what you want about Call of Duty, but Call of Duty is an absolute juggernaut, and to lose that and it becoming a Microsoft exclusive, that is a massive blow. And I do question, can Microsoft sustain the $10 price point? If past is prologue with these subscription services, ultimately you would imagine that the price of Xbox Game Pass is going to go up to, say, $14.99, maybe $12.99, somewhere around that range. But even then, the value proposition is crazy, because if you're on PlayStation 5 and you buy, let's say, Horizon Forbidden West and God of War, I think those are two games that the majority of people are going to buy. That's $140 alone. A year of Game Pass is less than just buying two games, and look at the value proposition of Game Pass. I know this comes across as kind of a negative video towards a PlayStation, and I see the rhetoric online seems to be it's very negative towards Microsoft, and you can have that opinion that what they're doing is bad for the industry, and I'm not going to disagree with you on that, but my opinion on it being bad for the industry does not matter at the end of the day. I can say it's bad for the industry. What I care about is what I'm going to get at the end of the day as a consumer. And if what is going on, I mean, sure, you know, you're gonna get your Final Fantasy 16s of the world on PlayStation, you're gonna get God of War and Horizon, those are major games, but with Microsoft now cultivating their own first-party exclusives and now acquiring all of these studios, the game library on Xbox is gonna start becoming absolute insanity, and hey, maybe some people are gonna go the PS5 PC route, but I just foresee the majority of people, especially more casual consumers, they're not gonna go the route of having two major platforms, two expensive platforms, especially with how expensive PCs are as well. I foresee most people just buying one of the consoles and then calling it a day. Now, it'll be interesting to see what happens with the 2023 COD title when the ink is officially dry and everything like that. I know some people are already making the argument, hey, COD's gonna stay on PlayStation. I just find it really hard to believe Microsoft would spend $70 billion only to bring their games to Sony platforms. But Phil Spencer did make the following statement to Bloomberg, which I thought was pretty interesting, but it could just be fluff service and getting people, you know, to ease up a little bit. He noted, "I'll just say to players out there who are playing Activision Blizzard games on Sony's platform, it's not our intent to pull communities away from that platform, and we remain committed to that." You can think of that what you will. I would imagine, games as a service title, Call of Duty Warzone, and games like that, they'll remain on Sony's platform. However, when you look at the yearly COD titles, that could be a big driver to sell Xboxes and sell Game Pass subscriptions, man, and I don't know if you want to keep that as on Sony's platform. Obviously, you'll take the blow by not selling those copies of the games on PlayStation platforms, but you could take that as a loss leader to contribute to Xbox Game Pass, to contribute to the Xbox ecosystem, to get people subscribed, and for the long term, that's going to be way more important than just 1 year of COD sales, at least in my opinion. But I'm sure Microsoft is going to be better at crunching the numbers than I'm going to do just doing this video. They're going to sit down and they're going to, dissect everything, but given the fact that Bethesda games are going mostly exclusive, that is something definitely to consider. But I don't know, maybe I'm out to lunch and I'm kind of rambling here. There's a lot to dissect and I don't even know if my brain has processed what this could truly mean for the industry as a whole, and it seems like the general consensus is that this is going to be negative for the industry. And yeah, I could come on here and, say that it's going to be super negative for the industry, it's going to be a horrible thing, but am I really going to accomplish anything at the end of the day doing that? Probably not. I mean, I'm just looking at what it's going to be like for the average Joe a year from now and what the lay of the land is going to be, and the game library differential from PlayStation and the Microsoft platforms might be worlds apart. And again, some people are going to be like, I don't care about Bethesda games, Bethesda's washed, Activision games don't interest me, everything going on with Activision is something else that is going to definitely be a black cloud hanging over Microsoft, and how they handle that situation is definitely something to consider as well. But ultimately, when a lot of people see that Call of Duty, as far as consoles go, is only on Xbox, that is going to be a massive game changer in my opinion, even if, again, much like Bethesda, some people think Call of Duty is washed. I wasn't very high on Vanguard for the little that I did end up playing it, but Call of Duty is still a major franchise, and it takes just one swing to swing that Call of Duty table around. One quality Modern Warfare title or one quality entry, and then the narrative completely changes on Call of Duty, especially from a casual perspective. But that's going to do it for me. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Just something that is going to be absolutely wild and is going to be a very big story for the rest of 2022, even into 2023. So again, sound off in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.